Well, we've had a naval presence in Bahrain for many years now. We operate continuous naval patrols in the Gulf as part of a wider alliance effort. But the facilities that we've used at Min Al Salman have been fairly poor, temporary facilities. It's been regarded as a sort of hardship posting, unaccompanied short-term tours. And what we're now trying to do with the Bahrainis is to establish this as a permanent base where people will come for longer periods of deployment, where we can service and maintain our ships here in the Gulf without having to send them necessarily back to Britain. And I'm glad to say over the last 2 years, since we first discussed this with His Majesty the King, we have been able to come to a solution where the Bahrainis are very generously financing the provision of more permanent facilities for us that will allow us to establish this base as a permanent part of our defence presence in this region.
There will be some, though, who say, why is Britain going into partnership with a country that has been heavily criticised in the past for its human rights record, where there still isn't anything like democracy here?
Well, Bahrain is a strategic partner for us in the Gulf, and we've worked together in our common interest. This is about protecting Britain's interest in the Gulf. But on the human rights front, Bahrain is by no means perfect, but it is a country that is making progress and whose leadership has shown a willingness to engage with the human rights challenges that it faces. It's set up a commission after the events of 2011, and it has started to implement the recommendations of that commission, in many cases with British technical support. It's just conducted elections that were unfortunately boycotted by the principal opposition party, but nonetheless a new parliament has been elected, 14 of the 40 members of which are Shia members, 3 of them are women. These are steps of progress in the right direction. Now, there is much more to do, and part of my visit here will be opportunities to engage with the King and with the Crown Prince, who's been leading the reform agenda, to talk about the next steps going forward. And I hope that the success of the elections will embolden them to move forward with further reform, taking this agenda onward, so that we can work together not only for the mutual security of Britain and Bahrain, but to ensure the advance of the democratisation and human rights agenda here in Bahrain.